Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our York City Council meeting for February 17th, 2026. At this time, we will have public comment. As a reminder, public comment is on non-agenda items only and will be for 5 minutes. Up first, we have Don Hake.
Don Hake, city resident. I don't know if you feel like I do. This is wonderful. This is what makes democracy work. Now, we might not all have agreements, but it's good to have free speech. A couple of questions which I've provided to you. I appeared at the last council meeting and completed a form, and I asked for answers to the questions. And this may benefit everybody else that's here. What happens when I submit that form here to the council? What happens to it? Where does it go? What is its journey? And how long do I have before I can expect a return or a response to it? Number two, the former head of the tenant-occupied inspection department, before he retired, he informed me that on advice of legal counsel, the information acquired through or during property inspections should be kept secret. I have a problem with that. For instance, I have a property that was inspected recently. In the bathroom, a dropped ceiling had water that had dripped down and made a stain on the tile, and I was told that I had to replace the tile. Now, if that is true, then I want to make sure that every inspection that takes place where that occurs, that is enforced. Otherwise, we have selective enforcement, and that's a no-no. That breeds corruption. I've asked, what is the compensation for an inspector? I tried to obtain that online. I see that there are some openings, not for myself necessarily, but I would like to know what the beginning compensation is. What qualifications are necessary to become an inspector? What training is presented to them? At what level are the inspectors vetted? How many people talk to them and vet them? And who makes the decision to hire them? Here's a big one, and this is something that came to me from a number of different sources, and it's very, very important. We have a certain fee structure for the inspections. How were those fees determined? How were those amounts arrived at? Who did that? What is included in that? Why are re-inspection fees paid in advance? They're required to be paid before there's a first inspection. And so along with that, I would say, what is the number of yearly inspections that take place? And how many of them pass on the first inspection? If there's very few in number, one has to wonder what's going on here. Is that just another fee that you know you're going to get? Gee, I see a dust ball in the corner. Why would you pay for the re-inspection in a pre-charge. I thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you.
I just wanted to respond to Don real quick. I take full responsibility. You gave me that form, and I completely forgot about it. I usually submit that to the administration, and I didn't. So I apologize for that. That was my mistake. And but I will make sure to do that after I get home tonight to submit
That's
this
very,
and the last
very
one.
courageous of you for, thank you very much for acknowledging
Yeah.
that. But maybe you could share with me where would it go next? And then how long does it take for somebody to respond? I realize, depending on the question, that can vary.
I'll get back. I'll get in touch with you. I'll let you know. I'll send you an email. I have your email address. I'll send you all that information. I'll include you in the email when I submit it as well. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Clerk Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Up next for public comment, we have Ruby Manzo.
Good afternoon, City Council, President Aquino Washington, Betsy Buckingham, Elizabeth Buff, Teresa Johnskew, Ryan Suppler, Mayor Walker, Commissioner Muldrow, and everyone else who is watching online and considers himself a leader of York. I come here today to voice my concerns with the rest of the community members who have urged City Council to do more than give affirmations. I come here to remind you of the checks and balances that you owe the community at large, regardless of immigration status, regardless of skin color, and regardless of politics that seem to motivate people more than the voices of the people. I come to remind you that we are all a collective and we all share one thing in common, which is a simple yet profound fact that we are all human. We've lost sight of that simple idea buried beneath partisan politics, economic divides, and the biases that we may carry without even realizing it. Today, I come here to remind you that above all, we cannot function as a society and chart our future trajectory for success if we do not possess the capacity to perceive the element that feels so lost, our shared humanity. Today, I stand before you as a proud member of a family that has built thriving businesses right here in the heart of the city. These businesses, which have started over the past 3 years, are the result of a combination of necessity and the fulfillment of lifelong dreams. I come to you as a scholar, a graduate of York High, who began their education at HAC and later graduated with a degree in political science and Latino studies from the Pennsylvania State University. I dedicated myself to learning about the government and the profound injustices faced by minority communities. I have witnessed firsthand the deep injustices inflicted upon many of us by our own government for the sake of profit and capitalism. One undeniable truth that has persisted throughout the years is that poverty is a universal issue, and that zip codes can significantly impact an individual's education opportunities. I come to you as a community member who has given more than 7 years of volunteer work, whether here in York or wherever life has taken me. Countless unpaid hours of dedicated service that comes straight from the heart. I come to remind you that as a society, we are in a constant state of worry despite our amazing attempts of trying to find peace where we can, even if it means ignoring your neighbors. We cannot deny that chaos will persist, but as a leader of the city that as the leaders of the city that many of you guys love, and I also love, and continue to return to, you have a sole responsibility to take care of your community members, regardless of their skin tone or the opinions of politicians who are money grabbers. Our state government has only provided us with words of affirmation. However, neighboring towns have taken proactive steps to push the city councils to establish a foundation of protection, which allows us to operate our businesses without fear, continue our daily lives knowing that our leadership cares about us, and taking pride in our own progress without solely relying on the state or federal governments to do so. The immigrant community in Pennsylvania is deeply rooted, and some immigrants who come here to pursue the so-called American dream have planted seeds over time. These seeds have grown into the children who have been attending the last 3 city council meetings to express our presence, our vigilance, and our education, which enables us to understand that this is where decisions are made as a collective community we are continuing and committing to empowering City Council throughout Central Pennsylvania to advocate for more than just affirmations. City Council, I know you hear us, and at the end of this meeting, we are expected to point ourselves to someone within City Council so that we can talk about what the next steps are. Ms. Edwina Washington proposed in 2024 a welcoming act, and we together want to continue pushing that so that way we can also do something so that the people here in the city feel safe. This is our first act of resistance, and we will continue doing what we can on our end, but we need you guys to also do what you guys can. Economic benefits do not matter when people are fearful for their lives. Politics do not matter when people can't even step outside of the door without knowing whether they'll be detained for the color of their skin or for any other reasons that just are solely based on bias. We are one nation under God, and what is required of us is the courage to speak out and the wisdom to act when this nation is under attack by mass consumption, profit-driven practices, and ignorance that has resulted in unjust deaths across the country. We've opened our eyes. My true question here is, will you join us in opening your eyes so that we can work collectively as a community the way that we love to tell everybody that we are, so that we can bring some sort of safety blanket that you guys have already tried to establish in 2024, this time in 2026. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next for public comment, we have Alyssa Jackson.
Good evening. My name is Alyssa Jackson. I'm here again to speak out against ICE in our community, putting fear into our community and violating our community's rights. This is my third consecutive city council meeting. I've never been here before that, and in that short amount of time, ICE has escalated here in Pennsylvania. They've purchased warehouses and plan to bring detention centers into our own state. It's very clear that we cannot wait for someone else to come save us. We cannot simply rely on the federal or state governments. It is up to us to keep our community safe. It starts here with all of us here, and it can only grow from there. This is going to have to be a bottom-up, roots-up movement. It is time for us to make the change. We need a change now, and it is going to have to start here. ICE out.
Thank you. Up next for public comment, we have Michael Walker.
Michael Walker, 416 West King Street. Madam President, Madam Vice President, members of council, good evening, and how are you this fine spring evening? I want to begin by stating clearly that I'm not speaking for the administration, not speaking for the mayor, and I'm speaking as someone who has worked with Mr. Michael Dowry, who knows his professional record and who is rooted in this community as a citizen you represent. It is because I take that privilege of citizenship seriously that I'm standing here this evening to ensure the record reflects the truth. At the last council meeting, it was suggested that the city needs more than a local tax accountant to address the years of audit backlogs. And while Mr. Dowry was not named directly, it was clearly understood in context for those who understand that the reference included him and the financial team engaged in his work. Respectfully, that framing does not reflect the scope of his experience or the magnitude of what is underway. Michael Dowry serves as Chief Financial Officer at York College, a nationally recognized educational institution and one of the primary arteries of economic activity in this city. York College drives talent development, innovation, entrepreneurship, and workforce cultivation in our community. Serving as CFO at that level requires executive financial leadership, institutional strategy, and complex fiscal oversight. Michael was also instrumental in the financial turnaround of the city of Chester, Pennsylvania, and that was over 2 administrations, one of the most economically distressed municipalities in the Commonwealth that required structural reform fiscal discipline, and the ability to operate in politically complex environments. What is happening in York is, for all intents and purposes from the outside, not routine bookkeeping. It is the reconciliation of approximately 6 years of past due audits. 6 years. And that backlog didn't originate this year. It accumulated across multiple fiscal years, spanning the prior administration, extending into the 2+ years that many of the body that's sitting before us have financial oversight and legislative authority under our city charter. We've also recently learned of a cyber incident affecting our city systems. When years of delayed audits intersect with technological instability, it underscores the seriousness of the financial infrastructure challenges that our city face. This is precisely why financial leadership is required. While Michael Dowry is not stepping away from his executive role, he is sacrificing time from a stable, high-level leadership position to assist our city in unwinding years of accumulated financial disorder. That is structural cleanup work spanning multiple administrations and, again, budget cycles. So when professionals rooted in this community step forward in that capacity, we must be careful how they are framed. Mr. Dowry has built his reputation here. He represents the minority community with excellence, competence, and integrity. And when leaders from within our community bring executive-level expertise to address long-standing deficiencies, their full credentials should be acknowledged accurately. This is not about politics. It is about institutional credibility. It is about fairness. And it is about ensuring that when we speak in this chamber, our words reflect the gravity of the work and qualification of those actually performing it. The audits were not completed over a period of years. Now they're being addressed. That requires experience, that requires discipline, and that requires leadership. And I offer this respectfully as a correction for the record and in the interest of clarity and accountability moving forward. And I also offer this with Michael Dowry probably going to call me after this to say, why did you do that? Because it wasn't coordinated. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next for public comment, we have Angela Ramirez Garcia.
Get settled in here. First of all, I would like to thank the council members for actively listening to our statements at previous meetings, and specifically Councilwoman Butt for coming up to us and giving us her regards afterwards. I would also like to thank everyone else in the council for giving us a minute of their time. Today, I specifically want to address the response to the statements we've given in the past. I don't know if you all have seen, I'm sure most of you have seen the comments under your Daily Records videos from the past meetings. There's two spectrums of it. There is the support, and then there's the antagonization of the people speaking. But my concern here is more for the students who did the walkout on February 5th. Belittling and disrespecting and calling children misguided, and there was a plethora of things said. But specifically, what I want to address is two of the comments under those posts that really just felt inappropriate and deemed to call out here on a public platform. I won't say who commented these, but if you're able to take a look at the video, you're welcome to scroll through and see what people have to say. One person stated, "Oh my God, these are the kids that actually need education. The school district is a joke. Future fast food workers and SNAP recipients." Then she later went and edited her comment and said, "Everyone enjoy your evening. I'm no longer replying to comments, not because I can't defend myself, but because I'm enjoying my time with my family, which is much more important." I don't know
how you guys feel about that. I know you guys can't publicly state anything currently, but personally, I think it's disrespectful to talk about future college students, future workers in general in that way. And I think that we should be standing up for our students a bit more, defending their rights to walk out in a political movement or simply support what they think is right. Another comment said, just to show how liberal our school systems are. I support ICE and all law enforcement agencies. Shame on our education system. Just another reason why businesses don't last in the city. Again. This, along with other comments that were deleted, reported, limited, or snide remarks of children being indoctrinated, corrupted, and misguided, seem completely inappropriate. I would personally like to address the York Daily Record and ask them to monitor their comments a little more, just because it doesn't seem appropriate to allow these things to be kept up. Back to the previous statements that we've given here. One of the comments that I specifically wanted to talk about was by, can't say the name, but it goes as such. I fear for my life at Walmart because I can't understand a single person. I have no idea what they're plotting. It's a shame York has turned into a slum and a third world country. These are the people that we are allowing to criticize our students, our children, anyone who speaks up against anything that we deem unfair, whether that is ICE, whether that is our city police, whether that is how the city is run. And it goes to show how we are here peacefully speaking, we are here addressing things, and there's nothing we can do to control these people, but it goes to show that this is the best we can do. We can speak up, we can be formal about it, we can be dignified about it, but I just wanted to bring that up. To finalize my statement, I would like to say we do want to see a bit more done for our community. I personally have spoken with a handful of my undocumented friends and DACA recipients. Their concerns are at the moment, should they fear for their lives at the moment? What's being done to protect them? One of my friends specifically is looking at moving back to their home country, which shouldn't be a thing. It shouldn't be an option. They're allowed to be here and work and be just like the rest of us and commit to their dreams that they've had since they came to this country. And I think that it's unfair that they now have to consider relocating and leaving the life that they've built here for the sake of the concern of their safety, which in this case was the reason they left their home country in the first place. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Do we have any other public comment this evening? Yes, sir. Then, did I see someone else over here? Oh.
Good evening, Council. Lester Abbott, East Side. It's been a while since I've been here at a City Council meeting, and so some things have happened. First off, I want to congratulate Councilman Suppler and Councilwoman Buckingham on their elections to the council. Look forward to good things and working with you guys in the coming years and all that. And then the second thing is the Walker administration. Congratulations. I am very happy you're sitting there today and all that. So we have high hopes for your administration and all. And so if you're looking for help, you got a whole city full of people willing to help you and all that. So I want to say there were some things accomplishments that I think were accomplishments over the last couple of weeks. First off, barricades on North George Street. Thank you, especially in time for the snow. And then in my alley and my neighborhood and all that, we had some potholes and all that. And so before it snowed and before it got really cold, a city crew was out there filling up the potholes. appreciated that. That's been like, that doesn't happen very much, but we appreciate that effort right there. And then during the snow and all that, I know the snowplow came through the alley at least one time. That's all we need. The rest of, we can take care of the rest of it, but we just need that one pass. So we thank you. We thank the administration for that. Councilwoman Jonescu, I look forward to your requirements for the board. You're working on some board requirements and all that, and how to beef up our boards. I look forward to that. I think you're right on spot there with that. Thank you. So over a year ago, I stood here before this council, and I expressed some concerns about storm clouds gathering over the United States. And boy, did they ever gather. At that time, I thought they were just going to be mainly budgetary, but they swum over into cultural, and I never dreamed that it would be this bad. Never dreamed that we'd be in this bad. But history has taught us a few things. Number one, hate, and that's what this is, nothing but pure hate. Hate never stops with one group. It always seems to seep into other groups, other areas. So no group is immune, and eventually it starts to feed on it. But that's only after many, many, many people are hurt and all that. So back in one recent example is from Germany in the 1930s. There was a police force, or paramilitary group, I'm going to say, is a better way to say it. They were called the Brown Shirts, and they were out there and they marched around and they terrorized the minority groups and groups that weren't supposed to be there. Today, we have another name for brown shirts. We call them ICE. And the ICE agents, though, are a little bit worse than the brown shirts because they wear masks. They don't identify themselves. They come out of unmasked cars. That's not good. That's not what America is. But I do happen to agree with the Walker administration. I seen it came out into the newspaper right there that you're not going to support the 287 agreement with ICE. I fully support your efforts in that, not agreeing to that. So that's good. So we're on some good firm steps right there. But I just fear for the future for our immigrant communities, especially since I work in the school district a little bit part-time and all that, and I see some of the scared faces and all that. So with that, thank you very much.
Thank you. I believe there was some other public comment. Yes, sir.
I think they were called the red shirts.
No, they were all brown shirts.
Does anybody remember the
I
red shirts?
remember the red shirt.
Remember the brown shirts?
They were part of the police department.
Oh, okay, not the city of York, okay. That's a huge difference.
Red shirts were good.
I was going to say, I didn't know they were terrorizing people, but okay, I'm glad that's clarified.
Yes, sir. Can you give us your name?
My name is Tyler Nell,
Say the last name again, Tyler.
Nell.
Thank you.
So I will be fully transparent. I do not have any notes with me or anything like that. This is totally off the cuff. But I will be and I will also be transparent about something else. I have only been living in this county for shy of 2 years. I'm a Lancaster native. And and during that time, I also was living in Lebanon County. And the one thing that all those places have, and much of South Central Pennsylvania has in common, is it's Dutch country. And I'm a very proud Pennsylvania Dutchman. I am someone who grew up here. I adore everything about it. I love everything about it. I love serving my community. And likewise, I want so many other people who come here to love it as much as I do. And it's precisely because I love it so much that I feel like I just need to come up and just say, like so many other people have been saying, that the things I've been seeing, the things I've been reading, the things that I've been hearing, it's evil. It is unimaginable. That some of the stories I've heard, especially towards women and children at the hands of this unspeakable acts of violence. It's heart-wrenching. And it's something that I wish more people would recognize for what it is. I don't care where you come from, but the things that we've been seeing on television as of late have been unacceptable. And I really hope that more people wake up to it and realize that nobody deserves the fates of some of the people of what I've been seeing against people, not against people like Alex Preddy, not against people like the countless unnamed people who have been in detention centers, let alone even the conditions of those detention centers. And the fact that only just recently, and this attests, I think, especially to why I consider it especially evil, is only recently many of these undocumented people have only just been approved to even receive ashes. Tomorrow is Ash Wednesday, and the fact that it wasn't even granted that they'd be receiving ashes tomorrow. It kind of building up what the gentleman said, the Nazis absolutely suppressed the religious freedoms of many people, and the fact that it's only just now that such things are even have to be said. No, it's despicable. It's absolutely vile. And I really sincerely hope, and that's the thing, I am just one guy. I can't influence everything. But I do know I can at least say something here and now and say that people deserve better. These people, especially these undocumented people, our minority communities, they deserve better than this. Even if they are undocumented, we can find ways to help them to integrate into our society, but it's not like this. Not like this. And I really sincerely hope that, as everyone has been, I would say a lot of people has been saying tonight, I hope the message is coming across clear that we will not accept this lying down. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. At this time, it is 6:32 p.m., and we will call our legislative meeting to order. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
All right. Supler,
Here.
Bub,
Here.
John Askew,
Here.
Buckingham,
Here.
Washington.
Here. And everyone that can stand, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. At this time, we will take action on previous meeting minutes. I make a motion to approve our legislative meeting minutes for February 3rd, 2026.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? That motion carries. Up next, we have presentations, awards, and announcements. We do have two presentations this evening. One is a surprise. At this time, can we have retired Chief Sleeger to the podium, please? Good evening again, sir. At this time, we would like to present you with a proclamation honoring you for your service as Fire Chief for your retirement. And so we are going to go through with that. So thank you so very much for your service. Whereas Chief William H. Sleeger Jr. is retired from the City of York Department of Fire Rescue Services on January 8th, 2026, after an extraordinary 33 years of dedicated service to the residents and businesses of the City of York. And whereas Chief Sleeger began his distinguished career with the department on March 9th, 1992, following honorable service to the United States Navy and after graduating from the 6th Hack Fire Academy. And whereas Chief Sleeger served with distinction in every rank he held, beginning as a firefighter assigned to A Platoon, promoted to captain on May 30th, 2015, assistant chief on January 11th, 2019, deputy chief on March 25th, 2019, acting chief on March 26, 2021, and ultimately sworn in as chief of the department on July 26, 2021. Whereas throughout his career, Chief Sleeger earned numerous professional certifications and contributed to the advancement of the fire service as a member of the International Association of Fire Chiefs, the Pennsylvania Career Fire Chiefs Association, and the York County Fire Chiefs Association. And whereas Chief Sleeger is a highly decorated member of the department, receiving commendations and awards for his acts of bravery, leadership, and life-saving service. And whereas Chief Sleeger is part of a proud multi-generational York City public safety family, serving as a 4th-generation York City firefighter, the son of a York City police officer, and the brother of retired York City firefighter Chuck Sleeger. And whereas Chief Sleeger is a lifelong resident of the city of York, and together with his wife in 30 years, Vicky has raised 2 daughters, Rebecca and Rachel, who have supported him throughout his decades of service. And whereas we wish to recognize Chief Sleeger's exemplary leadership, his courage, and his unwavering commitment to the safety and well-being of the York City community. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the mayor and council of the city of York, do hereby honor and commend Chief William H. Sleeger, Jr. for his 33 years of outstanding service, and that we express our profound gratitude for his dedication and sacrifice and extend best wishes for fulfilling and well-deserved retirement. This is presented to you today on behalf of Mayor Sandy Walker, York City Council members Ryan Supler, Teresa Janescu, Elizabeth Buck, Betsy Buckingham, Vice President, and myself, Equina Washington, President.
And Diana Thompson, the City Clerk.
Thank you, sir, so very much for your service.
All right. Speech. You gotta go to the mic, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't expect this.
You gotta go to the mic, Chief. We want to hear you. We want the world to hear you.
I don't have the style that the commissioner does when it comes to speeches. Thank you. This means a lot. I appreciate this. It's been my pleasure and privilege and honor to be a member of this department, this city, this community for as long as I have in my family to give back. Being the fire chief was never anything I ever aspired to. I was just glad to be a city fireman, and everything worked out, and I'm so glad for that opportunity that I was able to make a lot of changes from when I first started to where we're at today. And hopefully, along with Chief Smith taking the reins, he's going to continue that and, again, grow our department to where we should be. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next for presentations, awards, and announcements, we will now have Sarah O'Brien, Director of Downtown Inc. She will be providing us with a year-end review and look ahead.
Good afternoon or evening, Council, Mayor. Thank you so much for having me here. Got a lot of slides, but we're going to move very quickly. We just want to kind of give the audience some general information about Downtown Inc., what we were able to accomplish in 2025, and then we'll do a quick look ahead to 2026. Most of you know, but Downtown Inc. is York City's Main Street downtown revitalization organization. We're dedicated to driving, encouraging, and enhancing investment in downtown York. We've got a small team of 3 and then a big team of 26 of the York County Economic Alliance that makes things happen throughout the county. I'll never know where the little clicker goes. In 2018, Main Street York and Downtown Inc. merged with the York County Economic Alliance and became an affiliate. The merger has really allowed us to deepen our bench and focus our efforts on larger revitalization projects and more personalized service to our business community. We have our economic development and financing team, our Bloom Business Empowerment Center, the York County Trail Towns program, and of course our wonderful marketing and creative team who really allows us to help tell the story of downtown York. We manage the York Business Improvement District on behalf of the City of York. Thank you so much for entrusting us with that responsibility. The Business Improvement District was founded in 1998, and you can see on the map the area that it covers. We proudly work very closely and promote the 3 micro districts of downtown York: Market District, which is where we sit tonight, Royal Square, just a stone's throw from here, and then WeCo, which is west of the Cadorus. Just a little history lesson on the bid. I said it was created in 1998. We assess 1 mil on every commercial property in downtown York. I think we are the only organization in the City of York that has not received increased funding in almost 30 years. So since 1998, it's been the same 1 mil assessment. We take that $112,000 that the Treasurer's Office so graciously collects for us, and traditionally every year we will generate between $500,000 and $750,000 through our fundraising, special events, and sponsorship opportunities. We just renewed the bid a few months ago. Thank you very much for your support, and are looking forward to really setting the stage over the next 5 years to hopefully look at increasing that bid revenue when we go for renewal in 2031. We focus our work in 4 key areas: promotions, which is marketing, community, our individual institutions and establishments downtown, as well as marketing in the district as a whole, both locally, regionally, and nationally. Placemaking, which is anything you can see, touch, and feel downtown. We'll talk about some of those highlights in a moment. Economic development, providing business support and assistance to entrepreneurs, new businesses, our longstanding businesses, and also economic development projects like the Yorktown Hotel, Cadorus Greenway Beautification Project, citywide Wi-Fi, which is forthcoming, and other projects like that. And then our 4th pillar is public safety. We work very closely with the York City Police Department and our wonderful downtown team, which you'll hear a little bit more about in just a few minutes. Well, I'm going to breeze through these next slides and get you guys back on your agenda for this evening, but wanted to go through some highlights based on our 4 pillars. Last year, we were able to finally install 5 new trench drains along South Beaver Street. This project had been in our work plan since 2019, so we were really excited to see this happen. I always point the wrong. There we go. We planted 100 new trees downtown and in York City parks alongside our partners at Rotary and the York City Parks Department. We inventoried 1,819 trees, both in the bid and in the main arteries throughout York City through our urban forestry management plan. We were able to shepherd in the delivery of 2 Portland Loo portable restroom units, and I know Jim Gross is working hard on getting those installed soon, and everybody will be invited to the porta potty party when we have it, and we will be having it. Public restrooms are the #1 tourist destination in the world. We installed 4 new creative crosswalks in the bid. We've still got 1 more left for that project, waiting a construction project on Penn Avenue for that one to get installed. We represented over 300 years of history at the York County History Center with our new mural on the dilapidated Columbia gas shelter. We inventoried and audited 754 light poles in the bid, including recording the pole numbers, which should make both Met Ed and Public Works Department a lot easier in the future. 81 businesses participated in the York City Police Department and Downtown Inc. Public Safety Survey downtown. 300-plus attendees joined us for our inaugural National Night Out at our Downtown Resource Center, which is located at 44 West Philadelphia Street, which we share with our partners at the York City Police Department. We raised over $10,000 to go directly to our partners at Friends and Neighbors of Pennsylvania for street outreach through our partnership with the Airstream International Rally out at the York Expo Center. We had over 25 police department shifts were funded through our fundraising efforts to provide additional boots on the street in downtown York. 4 new wheels on the new downtown York City Police Department golf cart hit the streets in downtown. You'll see a lot more of that this spring and summer. And we also received a Townie Award from the Pennsylvania Downtown Center for Best Community Partnership for our work alongside the police department. And again, my praise to Chief Muldrow and Officer Nice, Gene Fells, and Officer Reinhardt for everything you guys do for our community day in and day out. We were able to raise over $1.5 million in capital project grants from public and private sources in 2025 alone. We celebrated 25 new and expanded businesses in downtown York. Many of you were at a lot of those ribbon cutting celebrations. We appreciate you being there so much. We had 6 new trail-friendly businesses designated in downtown York through the York County Trail Towns program. We unveiled 40 pages of our new downtown investment guide, which I left a copy with all of our council members and have a few more in my bag if everyone is interested. We're really proud of this product. It really tells you why downtown York is a great place to be and to do business. Gives an overview of all of the resources and assistance that's available for those looking to expand or open up a business in downtown York. And yes, that was a brief PSA for everyone listening at home. We featured 2 vacant properties on our Imagine the Possibilities vacant property marketing campaign. We've done 3 now, and I'm proud to say that we actually have 2 out of 3 properties that have been leased, which is really exciting. 200+ business check-ins were hosted by Downtown Inc. team members and our Bloom team. Priceless, we launched the Small Business Resource Hub on our website, serving as a one-stop shop for opening up a business in York City, including our great How to Open Up a Business in Downtown York guide that we work closely with the city's permitting and development offices on. We awarded over $18,000 in welcoming community grants to community organizers and nonprofits in New York City hosting events, with $3,000 of those dollars dedicated specifically to events in Foundry Plaza to try to activate that space. We had over 3,000 attendees that were registered by our Downtown Inc. Ambassador Army for various downtown crawls and sip and savor events. We awarded over $12,000 in First Friday grants to downtown businesses through our partnership with WellSpan Health. 100+ businesses participated in our marketing and promotion programs such as Bright Nights York, First Friday, Sundays in the City, and our York College discount program. 20,000 visitors were welcomed to downtown York just through our Downtown Inc. Lineup of events. We were named one of the top 20 most beautiful main streets by Reader's Digest in the country, and one of 40 of the most charming small downtowns in America by HGTV this summer, 2 nods that we're very proud of. Plus, we were able to receive national accreditation from Main Street America and the Pennsylvania Downtown Center for the first time since 2013, and we represented York on the national stage at the National Main Street Conference in Philadelphia this spring. Just a brief look ahead, and I'll wrap up. Trees, trees, trees. We still have 2 more years left on our $500,000 DCNR grant. So we just got the final plan from Bartlett Tree Services this week. We'll be circulating that to our partners, and then we'll start working on expending those funds by doing more tree plantings throughout the bid and along some of the major arteries in downtown York. We are nearing completion of our public art master plan, AKA toolkit, in conjunction with the Cultural Alliance of York County, which will be a toolkit for all 72 municipalities and all of our artists on how to get more public art on the ground. Also take a look at maintenance. Downtown York has a lot of public art that is aging out, and so we're really excited about that final product that will be released in the next 90 days. Continue to work with our partners at the police department, reiterating the message that downtown York is safe. It's a great environment to be, to visit, to live, to work. Continue efforts through the Cadorus Greenway beautification project. Hopefully finish raising the money to finish out the first floor of the Yorktown Hotel. Turn some dirt potentially at Ballpark Commons. And then we're also very involved in the Penn State York master planning process. Our efforts for business recruitment and retention will continue through our Downtown Investment Guide and our Imagine the Possibilities campaign. For the first time that anyone could find record of, we will actually be issuing liens to property owners in the bid that are delinquent and have not paid their taxes. That is new, something we have not done in the past. And then working to connect all 3 of our micro districts through an urban trail project that we're very excited about. And then continuing to look at ways to fund and sustain our ABM Clean and Green team. Many of you have met Juan and Maximo, who are downtown 5 days a week, picking up litter off the streets of downtown York and making downtown York someplace that we can all be proud of. And with that, I think that wraps me up. I'm happy to answer any questions that you all may have about downtown York or the York County Economic Alliance.
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you to your team as well for the great work that they do.
Thank you.
Okay, we will move along. Our next council committee meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, February 25th, 2026, 6 p.m. here in council chambers. All agenda items are due by 12 noon on February 18th. Our next legislative meeting will be held here in council chambers on Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026 at 6 o'clock p.m. And all agenda items are due by 12 noon on February 25th. I just want to remind our community that our applications are still being accepted for our Youth Council Committee, and they're being accepted until March 23rd, 2026. And you can find those applications on our website at yorkcity.org. At this time, we do not have status for prior committee referrals. We will move into our subdivision and land development for HARB. Up first, we have resolution number 13.
Resolution number 13, introduced by Elizabeth Buck. Be it resolved that council hereby approves certificates of appropriateness for work to be done at 518 South George Street, 476 West Philadelphia Street, and 221 West Philadelphia Street.
Move for a vote. Second. It has been moved and seconded. Is there any council comment regarding this? Any public comment? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Supler,
Yes.
Buck,
Yes.
John Askew,
Yes.
Buckingham,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes, and that moves forward. Up next, we have resolution number 14. So introduced.
Resolution number 14, introduced by Equina Washington. Oh, this is the big one. This is the big one. All right, whereas Article 121 requires that the City Department of Fire Rescue Services be headed by a fire chief, and whereas under Article 123.04D, the mayor has the power to appoint department heads, including fire chief, with the advice and consent of the majority of council. And whereas the City of York is committed to ensuring the effective, efficient, and continuous operation of its Department of Fire Rescue Services. And whereas the position of fire chief is currently vacant, creating an urgent need for stable leadership to support emergency response operations, personnel management, and departmental oversight. And whereas Chief Adam E. Smith has served the City of York with distinction for more than 15 years in progressively responsible roles, including firefighter, fire captain, assistant fire chief, and deputy fire chief. And whereas Chief Smith has demonstrated exceptional leadership, operational expertise, and a deep understanding of the needs and challenges of the Department of Fire Rescue Services. And whereas Chief Smith possesses advanced professional training, including a Master of Science in Emergency Management from Millersville University of Pennsylvania, further qualifying him for the responsibilities of fire chief. And whereas the appointment of Adam E. Smith to the position of fire chief is being recommended in order to ensure continuity of command and to maintain the highest level of public safety for the residents of the City of York. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of York that council hereby appoints to the position of Fire Chief Adam E. Smith, effective immediately upon passage.
Move to approve.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any council comment regarding this evening? Any public comment? Yes, yes, Mayor Walker.
Good evening, Madam President and members of City Council. Before I start with my statement, I will ask our department heads to stand. You don't have to stand the entire time, but they're in support of Chief Smith. Thank you all so much for being here this evening. You may be seated. Council, it is my privilege to stand before you in full support of appointing Adam Smith as the next fire chief for the City of York. Chief Smith has dedicated his career to the York City Fire Department since 2010. During that time, he has steadily risen through the ranks: captain, assistant chief, deputy chief, and acting chief, earning each promotion through performance, professionalism, and leadership. He is not only committed to this department, he is committed to this city. He and his family have made their choice to build their lives right here in the City of York. Chief Smith combines education, experience, and vision. He holds advanced degrees in emergency management and business administration, is nationally credentialed as a chief fire officer, and was the first member of the department to complete the National Fire Academy's Managing Officer program. These accomplishments are not just titles, they translate into results. Under his leadership, the department formalized its training programs, strengthened officer development, and recorded over 6,000 hours of training in 2024 alone. 75% of personnel are now registered EMTs. Most notably, the department improved the ISO rating from a Class 3 to a Class 2, placing York among the top 7% of fire departments nationwide and the highest rated municipality in York County. Chief Smith understands both operations and administration. He has prioritized succession planning, strategic budgeting, equipment replacement planning, and professional development to ensure continuity of operations of the next generation of firefighters who we hope step forward. He also recognizes that community engagement, education, smoke detector programs, and youth outreach is central to public safety. York City deserves a fire chief who is forward-thinking, disciplined, collaborative, and deeply invested in this community. Adam Smith has demonstrated all of those qualities. I respectfully ask for your support in confirming his appointment as the next fire chief for the City of York. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mayor Walker. Is there any other public comment regarding this matter? Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Supler.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I was good with you just calling the roll.
We're going to let you speak next.
Oh, thank you. I dressed up. Good evening. I'd like to thank everybody who has come out to support me tonight, as well as those who have supported me throughout my career. I could not have reached this step without any of them. I would especially like to thank my wife, Brittany, for always having my back, personally and professionally. Thank you to Mayor Walker for your nomination to lead the department going forward. I'm humbled to be nominated to take on this assignment as fire chief for the City of York, but I certainly feel that I prepared myself for the role. I came to the city in 2010 as the first of 3 new firefighters hired after a 7-year hiatus. I was fortunate to learn from a large group of very experienced firefighters who understood this city and understood this department. Their expertise was invaluable to a young buck from Maryland just starting his first real job. Several members of the department encouraged me to pursue additional training and education, and I took advantage of programs that the department had to better myself. I earned a master's degree in emergency management from Millersville University, and I became the department's first graduate of the National Fire Academy's Managing Officer Program. I added several national certifications, including Fire Officer 4, the highest certification level available. I also earned professional credentials, including Fire Investigation Technician from the International Association of Arson Investigators. Most recently, I was credentialed as a Chief Fire Officer through the Pennsylvania Fire Service Credentialing Program. I've spent my career in the department improving our professional development programs, creating an annual training program, drafting and editing a probationary firefighter task book, investing in our EMS continuing education, and sending our officers to obtain national certifications. All these investments produce better first responders, better officers, and a better department. General James, if you've not read hundreds of books, you are functionally illiterate. Although I would count the number of books I've read in the dozens, I have incorporated books on leadership into my library, including Mattis, Simon Sinek, D. Michael Abershoff, and Jocko Willink. What I have learned from these is simple. Give your people a purpose, set the parameters they must work within, and then let them shine. As we've invested in our personnel, I want to continue to expand on that by empowering them to make the decisions within their realms of responsibility. I want to encourage initiative and creativity. I want to encourage community outreach and partnership. I want our department to continue to be a well-run organization and model exemplary service. I look forward to building on the successes that we have had the past few years. I respectfully request that I be allowed to direct our future success as Fire Chief. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And now, Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Supler,
Yes.
Bub,
Yes.
John Askew,
Yes.
Buckingham,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes, and
You
that
in
was
there,
for
buddy. You in there
congratulations.
now. Oh, yeah. I'd be, yeah. Mayor, are you going to swear him in officially another time? Yes. Okay.
With council, do you guys want to come down?
Sure. Tammy. Oh, you want, oh, thank you. I almost forgot. Oh, let me get out of here. I don't want to be in this picture.
There we go. We're good. I can scoot this back.
Okay, come in a little bit on the
Terry,
side.
yep, just a little bit. There we go.
Nope, you're good. And then you, squeeze a little bit this way from the middle in.
You guys will fill in.
Trust me. Fill in right behind. Yeah, we just. Cut. Perfect. All right, so just keep looking. Okay. All right, keep looking at me. Smile. Yeah, we're just gonna keep going. Okay. Thank you for doing that.
Perfect. Thank you.
have any gray hairs.
I know, you're doing good. Don't you want to come back on this side? Oh.
Is everyone ready? You guys ready? Okay, moving right along. Up next, we have resolution number 15.
So introduced. Resolution number 15, introduced by Betsy Buckingham. Whereas the 2025 budget was approved to include an allocation in the Resolution number 15, introduced by Betsy Buckingham, whereas the fiscal year 2025 budget was approved to include an allocation in American Rescue Plan funds for job training for the community, and whereas the city drafted an agreement with York Community Resource Center in the amount of $200,000 to go towards expanding the program offerings at their York Tech Central Trades Facility. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor is authorized and the controller is authorized to enter into agreements for same. I'd just like to ask, solicitor, should that be 2026 budget? Is it okay to have 2025?
I did 2025 because it was originally
Okay.
allocated in 25, but I did pull the 26 budget this morning, so it probably should have been 26.
Okay.
So if you want to make that change.
All right. Is there a motion to amend to 26?
So moved.
All in favor? I mean, second. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Opposed, no? All right.
Okay. Do we move to approve it?
Move to approve.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. I believe we have Mrs. Alice Frost here from Tech Central.
Thank you. Yes, Alice Ann Frost from Tech Central, Executive Director of Tech Central York. Just wanted to simply state thank you. The funding for Tech Central York will go a long way as we are in the midst of establishing our trades facility. And as we know, trades, the need for job training along the lines of trades will help individuals with establishing full-time careers, and that's transformational. Helping people obtain careers that are full-time, upwards of $30 or plus an hour, will help transform not just their lives, but our community as well. So I don't know if there's any questions, but again, thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for the work that you and your team do for our community. Is there any council comment or questions during this time? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I had a couple questions related to the agreement that were related to conflict of interest, scope of project, and the original application. And because I wasn't aware of, so this would be an actual for construction, or if this was for a different aspect. I wasn't really all aware of that, because in the agreement it just says see the attached item and there is no attachments, and then for the conflict of interest form it's completely blank. And so I'm just kind of curious what this looks like, what's the timelines and all that may entail.
So as far as the project scope, we submitted our application to the previous administration and to their consultants with our scope of work, which included pre-construction costs for our trades facility. And all paperwork that we were given was filled out and returned to the previous administration.
And I can speak to the attachment. So it will become a full contract packet once council approves the allocation of the funds. but the contract completion and the completion of those additional forms and the putting all that together will be done by the administration following council's approval of just the spending of those funds.
Thank you, Solicitor Flowers, and thank you, Mrs. Frost. Is there any further comments or questions from council regarding this?
I also found it confusing to not see a scope of work in Exhibit G of the MOU. And I do appreciate Solicitor Flowers talking about that being something that will come. Will we see that in another form of a final agreement?
So the agreement won't come back before you because council isn't voting on the agreement necessarily itself. Council is voting on the allocation of those funds. The applicant can certainly answer whatever questions you have as to the scope. And then the agreement, once compiled, is a public document, so we can certainly get it to you. But I don't think there was a plan to circulate or recirculate or to circulate the scope of work piece back to council. And this was one, because it was a holdover and there was some confusion following the last administration. I'm the one that got this together and got it to council, so I apologize for the confusion because I know you guys usually do have the scope of work. So that's my fault.
Okay, I appreciate that. And so, Mrs. Frost, if you wouldn't mind talking a little bit more about what the plan is to build out and let me start by saying, what you're doing is great. Tech Centro is great. Thank you for graduating a class of 20 phlebotomists, so I think, or
We
nurses.
graduated a total of 95 students in our first year.
That is fantastic.
Thank you.
And I speak for myself, support that, and really happy to continue to support you with this allocation. And if you could just talk a little bit more about what kind of trades you're planning to.
Sure, yes, absolutely. So we are planning, once we open, to start with 4 trades, which would consist of facility maintenance, HVAC, electrical, and plumbing. Those are all 6-month-long programs, part-time for our students to allow for adult learners. We are training individuals that might have full-time jobs as well. And over the course of that 6 months, they're there Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. We keep our class sizes fairly small, so each class will have about 15 students. And if I do the math correct, times 4, that's about 60 students in a 6-month period, 120 over the course of the year. So that's our goal, is that within a year's time of launching our trades program, being able to graduate upwards of over 100 students.
Thank you.
You're welcome. No problem.
Is there any further council comments or questions regarding this matter? Are there any public comment or questions regarding this matter? Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Supler,
I still have concerns over, so I'm going to vote no at this time.
Bub,
Yes.
John Askew,
Yes.
Buckingham,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes, and that moves forward. Up next, we have resolution number 16.
So introduced.
Resolution number 16, introduced by Betsy Buckingham. A resolution awarding a comprehensive employee management human resources information systems to Paycom, whereas the city determined that it was using multiple vendors with overlapping capabilities to manage the spectrum of employee management needs such as time, attendance, learning, policy, and pay, and whereas the city issued a request for proposals for the suite of human capital management services with the evaluation scoring Paycom as the most beneficial service. Now therefore be it resolved, council hereby authorizes and awards an agreement to Paycom.
Move to approve.
Second. It has been moved and seconded. Is there any council comment regarding this matter this evening?
Yes, I read through the materials. I didn't see a dollar amount for this contract anywhere. And what is the comparison if we're replacing multiple vendors with one vendor? You know, how does that break down price-wise, the difference?
Hi there, Beth Bowman with the Office of Human Resources. The awarded contract to Paycom is at estimated cost, the cost quoted was $278,000, $549.34. We had received 10 bids for the same scope of work, varying from $40,000 to $1.5 million. So this was in that kind of sweet spot where the 3 finalists were all around that same range.
So why else, besides being a sweet spot with the price, what else really made this RFP stand out?
They have exceptional customer service. They're local. They're in Baltimore, so they take full responsibility for implementation of their product too, which made them stand out, against the competitors. So that was the feedback we got from our panel.
Now, I understand Kronos is, sunsetting, and I know Kronos has been a problem for a lot of employers, but you mentioned multiple vendors trying to do everything. So is this a price reduction, or is it costing more, and what's the difference?
Yes, it's a price reduction. We currently use 6 or more different platforms across the entire city. And so this will give us an estimated savings for an all-in-one platform of approximately $200,000 a year.
Thank you.
Is there any further council comment or questions?
Yes, I saw that there was 2 other companies, Paylocity and ADP. What were your strong negatives? Because I've heard Paylocity is very user-friendly. A lot of people find it like a social interacting to bolster morale.
Yes.
And that was also the lowest bid.
Yes.
So,
Yes, yeah. I've used all 3 products. They're all great products, and I think any of them would have worked well for us. But for our panel, they really landed at the Paycom, I think, because of the customer service and it's really a tech-forward, proactive platform, and I think they really liked the engagement on that piece as well during the demo. So all 3 finalists did a demo. They were limited to 1 hour, and the panel reviewed that and felt that Paycom had the strongest as far as, and took into consideration that interactive piece for our workforce. We currently use some parts of ADP, just payroll, and the workforce usage is only 3%. So we really have room for improvement. We feel like this solution will really engage with our workforce.
I guess my only other question is, should the price of this contract be included in the resolution that we're approving?
I believe there's the actual pricing is a calculation based on number of employees plus another adapter, so it shouldn't be, the proposal is based on the unit price of a standardized employee workforce, which we obviously fluctuate from. So I wouldn't recommend putting a specific number in there in the resolution.
I think there was like multiple different little how this would with different charges or fees and add-ons. Yeah.
Is there any other council comment regarding this? Is there any public comment regarding this matter?
Madam President, I did ask our HR to give you a current state of what we are dealing with and what we have dealt with over the past few years, so you get an understanding of what we are going to move forward.
Oh my goodness.
This is our current state. As you can see, it's very manual. Oh, here, sorry, I don't know. This is the exercise we did when we were first starting this project. Thanks.
Thank you. The microphone.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Talk about how strenuous.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's very manual, a lot of labor, a lot of inefficiencies, a lot of room for error and compliance issues. So that's what kind of first started this project off. And I'm really grateful for the partnership of a lot of different parts of the city, departments, people with various different tenure were part of this team that really looked at these products to try to find the best fit for everyone.
When did this process begin?
In November, when we first found out about the Kronos sunsetting. So that really kind of spurred it, that, you know, we really needed to move since our time in attendance was going dark.
Thank you.
Yeah. And just for your understanding, it's not just, when we're talking about 3 or 4 different softwares that the city was using, in addition to our public safety departments using their own system. This brings everything comprehensively together, in addition to updating us and bringing us the current day technology. You should be able to use your cell phone to submit your time, etc., and we can't do any of that right now. So this will allow us to do all that and make it easier for our employees.
Thank you, Mayor Walker. Thank you, Ms. Bowman.
Thank you.
Is there any public comment regarding this matter? Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Super,
I'm leaning towards the lowest bid because of the stated $200,000 projected savings, and then that lowest bid well over $100,000, and so I'm going to vote no.
Bub,
Yes?
John Askew,
Yes.
Buckingham,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes, and that moves forward. At this time, we do not have a request for any future meetings. Do we have any council comment this evening? I know I have a minor comment this evening. I just wanted to share that, as was shared earlier, the Trust Act was passed in 2024, but unfortunately, it was vetoed by the previous administration in 2025. The Trust Act gave certain protections to our immigrant community here in the city of York. I am very hopeful that in the future I can work together with my colleagues on council, work together with Mayor Walker and her administration in addressing the imperative needs of our immigrant community. Is there any other council comment? Yes, sir.
Thank you, President. Over the past several days, I've heard from many residents regarding the ransomware attack, and this was that was highlighted in the York Daily Record. There's understandable concerns about whether we are in a strong position moving forward, and I look forward to continued transparency and updates so that residents remain informed and feel safe. And I'm also going to continue to raise concerns about the encampments along the creek near Bance Park, that residents deserve thoughtful and compassionate care and action to address these issues. Additionally, other residents have shared some more concerns related to financial reporting, that they would find it, I've heard a couple people say something about finding it beneficial to explore a more accessible reporting system similar to kind of what the school district provides, where there's information provided monthly on reports with the receipts, the disbursements, and other related documents. And this is a great way to strengthen public trust. On a positive note, I also want to share that last night at the York City Human Relations Commission, there was the proposal that I had brought forward before about the bias-motivated conduct and the updates to the HRC. And I'm very grateful for the HRC to recommend both of these with some friendly amendments, and I'm very grateful for that. And I look forward to advancing these items. I'm going to make the adjustments and see what we can do, and then hopefully we can get that on the agenda soon. And then I also want to say congratulations to Hamir's Restaurant for being named to USA Today's 2026 Restaurants of the Year list. And shout outs to Dream Rights and Nassim Company on their ribbon cuttings, and to the winter graduates of the York County Wellness Courts, as well as to the FOP Lodge 15 for a wonderful installation banquet. And finally, I encourage residents to attend the Coffee with a Cop events. I found them to be a really great way to connect with our police, and it's a great way to build trust in the community. And I found it to be really enjoyable, and I learned something. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Supler.
Thank you.
Is there any further council comment?
Yes, Madam President. I wanted to thank Mr. Walker for his explanation of Mr. Dowry's background and experience. I appreciate his confidence in him. When I made my comment the other week, I didn't know that he had a role in the administration. And so I repeat my call because I believe that we need municipal accountant, people with municipal accounting experience. It's a little bit different than standard accounting. And I would also then shout out to our HR team for posting the job opening for business administrator. I see that that is listed along with some other job openings. So people who are looking, check out the city employment page. I look forward to, the administration has said that we can look forward to receiving some financial reports in the near future, and I look forward to that. The last report we were given on ARPA balances was through August 31st, and that said at the time there was $13 million left to spend, the budget versus actual. So I look forward to seeing where we are as soon as some numbers are available. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Buck. Is there any further council comment this evening? Is there any comment from the administration this evening?
Absolutely, Madam President. It's a little warm in here, so I'm going to try to be short.
Goodness, yes.
Council, I'm pleased to share that we have completed and delivered the written monthly report for January 2026. To my understanding, and I served on council for 8 years, this is the first report of its kind presented in decades. I am especially proud of the Finance Department for preparing it while navigating significant transition. This represents an important step towards increased transparency and accountability. As we continue the search for a business administrator, there is still important work ahead. We remain committed to strengthening our internal process and keeping council informed. This is a high-level report, so please review the report and share any feedback on the format or suggested improvements with your leadership. Your input will help ensure it meets council's expectations. For your convenience, please see the reference guide that is on this document, and please reach out directly to my office with any questions or comments. Madam President, permission to approach?
Yes, Mayor Walker, thank you.
Decades.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And last but certainly not least, I would like to introduce our Chief of Staff, Mr. David Mackerith.
Council members, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, this is new to me, so this part. Just wanted to take a minute, thank you all for your service to the city, the residents, and the support that we receive from you all, so thank you. Just a little bit about my background. Previously, having extensive experience within the field of HR, worked for both private and public sectors. So state government for many years with the Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Administration, Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board. I've worked for private companies, family-owned businesses, and then just recently a global company here in York. So I'm here to support any way possible. Very much look forward to working with each of you. I will be your primary point of contact. So if you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out to me. Very excited to be here. Very much look forward to working with Mayor Walker. I see her vision, I understand her vision, and I'm here to help execute that vision. So very excited to be here, and I want to thank again all of you for taking the time, and I'm excited.
Thank you and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Madam President, I apologize. Speaking of vision, we have our
Plane ticket?
6 and 26. I wish. 6 and 26 brochure, Madam, can I approach it one more time?
Yes, Mayor Walker.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Visual for my initiatives.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
At this time, it is 7:30 p.m. and our meeting is adjourned. Everyone have a phenomenal evening and even greater rest of the week.